This is me, and this is my dad Andrew. Together we're restoring his super rare 1971 Triumph. In episode 1, we defied death, storms, and virtually running out of fuel in order to obtain this nearly rust-free example of fine British iron. By no means was there a layer of aluminum and Bondo covering any hidden rod at all. It was a perfect automobile. However, Fanatik Motorsports is slightly nitpicky about the quality of video content that we produce, and the editors told us that we had to do something to the car in order to meet our video quota for the year. So reluctantly, we tore the poor little crumpet apart and are now faced with the gargantuan task of rebuilding it. Before we got ahead of ourselves, we took the time to construct this rotisserie out of 1.5-inch box steel. It all rides on caster wheels, so we can also move it around the garage. A simple design, but oh boy has it ever been helpful. So with most of the chassis rust work done, we're onto the body, but we have noticed a few little problems. Oh dear, appears to be a bit rusty. We do have 2 new floor pans to put in, but of course before we can install them, we've got a bit more metal to remove and a bit of rust to remove. You'll notice that without the floor pan, we have no pinch weld anymore. So by installing this, now we have something to work back up to again. You will have also noticed that we left a small portion of the top of the door sill in order to retain the same door gap. If we remove this bit, there is a high possibility that the shell could warp and mess up all the panel gaps. Having left the original metal in place means that we should hopefully have avoided this issue. So for the first of what will undoubtedly be many times, let's get the angle grinder out. Oh man, we got a little bit of something to do there. So we've been wire wheeling it, but we figured that before we moved on any further with starting to hack out panels and replace them, it'd be a great idea to sandblast it, get it down to nice fresh metal, and start from a base that we can really build off. With the amount of dust produced from sandblasting, it's very hard to see if you've missed any small areas of rust. So once we'd removed most of the stuff, we came back with a wire wheel to tidy up the last few areas before primer. So, Dad, how would you describe how cold it is out here?
It's cold.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It was minus 20 centigrade this morning.
So at the front, it sits way too high right now. But in the back, we've managed to clamp it down with this big old F clamp and a vice grip. So we're going to do is work our way over, getting this all nice and flush. What I mean is that the new rocker panel seems to have too soft of a bend in order to meet up with the pinch weld. So with one side of the rocker welded correctly, the other is offset by about an inch. The F clamp has allowed us to pull the panel back to where it should be, and we checked that the adjoining panels should still meet up correctly before we welded it. Woo! That's mint! And away he goes like a deranged man, ripping apart his own car. Good to see it was built well. Or shall I say, restored well.
Yeah, this was restoring it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was awesome. Woo! Oh, don't get too happy.
Pull the whole bottom.
Yeah, it was just suddenly we'll have no floor. I mean, that is the next step, but I thought we'd be having to use an angle grinder for it. Luckily, this shall soon look like that, with any luck. So, do you see how there's like there's this one layer here, and then behind it there's like this other layer? Yeah, that's not factory. For the second time. So what do you do with the old scrap metal? Just throw it over the neighbor's fence.
Oh, don't forget this piece.
Oh yeah, they'll want that. There you go. Just. That's their problem. And a lovely, great big hole. And another hole. And another one. And there's a bit of a one right there too. And this bit. So Bert and Ernie are driving somewhere in the car one day, and Bert hits a bit of a speed bump, and the next thing they know is the battery falls on Ernie's feet. So what they did when they got home is they took some more sheet steel, and they riveted it in here, as you can see by these holes, and that's what they used to repair this. So what we're doing is we are going to take this out and replace it, and starting with that. Yep, it's a hole. That's it for this time. Stay tuned for more exhilarating episodes from Fanatik Motorsports. Consider subscribing so you don't miss anything.